Welcome to the Eric Avasar Show. Virginia Tech football delivered one of the most thrilling wins you will ever see from the Hokies, beating Miami 42-35 on the road in a game that came down to the final play that actually occurred after the broadcast was over. That's right. Everyone thought Virginia Tech had beat Miami after a first and goal play with 5 seconds left, with ESPN cutting away before the game was actually over to the next broadcast. Could you imagine if Miami had actually won on the real final play after ESPN had cut away? To make matters worse, the commentary booth was unprofessional, with two commentators high-fiving each other after Miami successfully made a Hail Mary touchdown pass to end the first half. And that level of bias in the commentary booth is unacceptable. But at any rate, this was an exhilarating win for Virginia Tech, in large part because this was almost a choke for the ages. The Hokies had a 28-0 lead in the first half. That Hail Mary touchdown that Miami scored was obviously huge for the home team's momentum, and when they had cut the deficit to 28-14 early in the second half, momentum had been so drastically turning in Miami's favor that it didn't even feel like Virginia Tech had a lead at that point. However, the Hokies found a way to pull it out, with Deshaun McClease scoring the game-winning touchdown on the Hokies' final offensive drive. The biggest reason why Virginia Tech won today and did not experience a complete and total disaster like the Duke game last week was because of the long overdue change at quarterback. Hendon Hooker, hallelujah! Hendon Hooker is the quarterback. Ryan Willis, hot garbage, finished. Hooker threw for 3 touchdowns, all of which to Rambo. Dalton Keene ran for a touchdown as well, and he was honest with his throwing assessment after the game, saying he was not accurate enough. He made some great throws. That over-the-shoulder ball that Damon Hazelton caught was huge on that final drive, but he missed some very completable throws as well. So the important thing here is that Hendon Hooker, unlike the former starter, can actually develop and get better, which is what makes this change so refreshing and exciting. Hen Boss, as he likes to call himself, finally gives us hope. And interestingly enough, head coach Justin Fuente, whose seat as head coach is now hotter than Hades still, showed some emotion, showed some fire and passion that the Hokie Nation was so eager to see. So that was incredibly refreshing as well. To go back to Dalton Keene, big ups to Dalton Keene for putting Trayvon Hill on his back. Hill really disgraced himself with some of his actions during his time with the Virginia Tech football program, not to mention throwing up the U during your Virginia Tech graduation ceremony. Absurd. So, thank you, Rambo, for delivering a sight for sore eyes today. The Virginia Tech secondary may have ended Jaron Williams' whole career after picking him off 3 times in the first quarter. Caleb Farley had 2 interceptions, as did Jermaine Waller. Both of those guys in the secondary came up with big plays, and while they got torched in the second half, they helped deliver when it mattered most, in crunch time with the game on the line. This was an absolutely massive win for Virginia Tech and keeping the longest active bowl streak in the nation alive. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please subscribe to my channel.